Hey now, good morning. Happy Thursday, PASW staff, clients, friends joining us. We were off Monday, so no new assignment. So you guys are getting a little break, and but I did want to revisit film class. Last week we looked at The Right Stuff, Philip Kaufman movie, and today we're going to relook at a movie and then see your results again for that movie. So this is how we're kind of revisiting these classes. This is such a fun movie, and again, this is important because we're going to see how important the music is to the opening scene of this particular film. And today we'll be relooking at Saturday Night Fever. Saturday Night Fever is 1977, big year. It's an American kind of drama film with some, comedy elements, directed by John Badham, and it stars John Travolta. Again, this is another iconic movie where if you haven't seen it, you've definitely seen scenes, and you get the gist, and you know the music, right? The music is by the famous Bee Gees. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the year. We're going to talk about your assignment, and we're going to, it's going to set the tone for a very good week ahead. So let's talk about the context of what's happening in 1977. Star Wars comes out, actually. So as we were talking about, that opens in theaters, breaks records, still being talked about. The Concorde first is invented and used, for commercial flying. And then Elvis Presley, the king of rock and roll, dies at the age of 42. Found dead in an apparent heart attack at the age of 42, and died in Memphis, Graceland in Memphis in Tennessee. So that's a huge shock to the world. Jimmy Carter is elected president of the United States, and some of these are random, but France, finally, it's the last execution by the guillotine. Now, I had no idea they were hanging people, cutting off people's heads up until 1977 in France. So, I mean, that's very weird. And then we get this scene of punk music coming on to the scene in 1977, late 70s. You get the Ramones, Iggy Pop, Elvis Costello, Sex Pistols. These groups are coming out with new music. Hence, disco's kind of becoming not as cool. And we're going to talk about disco. And your score does not need to be disco at all. So, so that's kind of what's happening. Okay, so Saturday Night Fever, stars a 23-year-old Travolta, and this, he was famous on Welcome Back, Kotter, but this really elevated him to a movie star status, and he's really great in this role. It's probably his best role, or, I think, but he works kind of in Brooklyn, and this is actually the scene that he's walking down the street, as you saw the opening subway. That's the same area, neighborhood, where they filmed the French Connection car chase, so that's kind of cool. Just making kind of these parallel things together. So we've been in this neighborhood before. So, okay, and this, he's kind of a minority. He's Italian. He's kind of bullied, but then he gets, his family. He's getting arguments. He's just kind of lower working class guy. But on the weekends goes to the discotheque and is this great dancer. And so it's kind of an underdog story a little bit, and kind of like Rocky, only not boxing, more dancing. And it's a good movie. It's really good. But okay, let's watch the scene as it is with the music.
two. Give me two. Let's go.
So that's "Staying Alive" by the Bee Gees, right? One of the most famous songs, not even disco songs, but just famous pop songs. So the Bee Gees didn't have anything to do with this movie, really. They shot most of the whole movie with just temp music, and we talked about that, with just Stevie Wonder and other kinds of music as a temporary score. But right before it was finished, they contacted the Bee Gees and they said, can you give us some music? And they were already recording an album in a studio and didn't have time, but they came up with kind of "Staying Alive" and some other songs just in a weekend and had it ready. And they put John Travolta dancing to this famous, not dancing, but he's strutting. He's kind of dancing. You can tell that, and I think he was listening to Stevie Wonder, as he was kind of moving with some of the movements on the street. So this is really famous. This shows you what kind of movie it's going to be. It's going to be fun. But his look is confident. His look is rebellious. I mean, a lot's going on just without any dialogue right here. So let's watch the scene without the score right now. So what do you think? Now it's up to us to come up with anything. We can come up with another disco song. We can come up with something without lyrics. We can come up with anything. This is going to set the tone for the movie, remember. So you're responsible for setting the tone for the audience, for the director, as the film composer, for whatever this movie is going to be. If it's going to be opera, then this is going to be a movie about a guy that dances to disco on the weekends and he loves opera, perhaps, or something like that. I mean, it's there's a lot of freedom, but you're going to set the direction, the tone of what kind of song. So think about it can be anything. Think about something that's we have more power right now because we're starting the action of the movie. We're not scoring something at the end, where the movie's already been shown and kind of felt by the audience. Now we're going to be starting it. So this is what we're going to be doing with opening credits. So I'm excited. We're going to come up with some really good stuff. So send it to me, by Wednesday, the latest. So interesting, the Bee Gees had no involvement in this movie, and it was just their music was added in post-production, and they just cranked out these songs in a weekend. It's crazy when you think of how simple it is, and then how it just changes history after that, where it's just a weekend of kind of messing around with songs, and then little did they know that we'd still be singing and dancing to those songs. It's crazy, and how famous it made Travolta, and how it helped popularize this disco music era. So many things were changing. So this is the part of film history that I want you to know about too, and film music. Okay, so tomorrow it'll be fun because we're going to see what you guys came up with for that opening shot of Travolta walking in Brooklyn. Okay, have a great rest of the day and see you tomorrow. Bye.